Do you do this? You should stop. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts, and today we've got a video about training because I asked you guys on Twitter, do you guys let your assistant manager do your training? It turns out a lot of you do, as you can see here, and I've got a bit of a secret for you. I do this quite a lot as well. So why is that the default setting for so many Football Manager players? Why do we leave it up to our assistants? I've got a few ideas as to why that might be the case. But today, I'm hoping by having a proper look at things, I'm going to convince you to stop doing that and to take control of your own training. It's not that scary, I promise. Before we jump into this training video, a really quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of video. If you want to see more tutorials on the channel too, let me know in the comments and make sure you subscribe to the channel too. Give this video a like as well. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. I do appreciate it. I do just want to say as well, a big inspiration for today's video was this one here from FM21. Fox in the Box made this one, and Foxy's video here, all about training, is very educational, very informative. I do implore you, go and check it out as well. I've linked it in the description down below. Watch this one first, but then go and watch Foxy as well, because he does do a great job. Okay, for today's video, we're going to jump into my stream save here, which is Hertha Brazil. Hertha Brazil, also known as Hertha Berlin, but we've changed them because we're only signing Brazilian players. If you like the idea of that save, you can come and check us out on Twitch as well. I stream this on a Saturday and a Sunday morning. The links to that are down in the description below. As you can see, I'll show you the squad. You know, why not have a little look at it as well? I'll show you the tactic here. You can see just how many Brazilian players we've managed to bring to the club. We're going for Bundesliga glory this year, and we're going to use this save today to have a look at training. So I have gone to my responsibilities and I have set training to be taken control by my assistant manager, Gary Megson. You can see there I've delegated that to him. If we have a look at the training schedule and go to our calendar here, this is what you are met with. Now, I think looking at this, I know why so many people say, do you know what, let the assistant manager do that. I feel like, and actually level with me here, be honest in the comments maybe, who has ever looked at this screen here and thought, do you know what, that is a lot of information. It's an explosion of information, and I feel like if I go messing around with this, I'm going to do more harm than good. That, I think, is a feeling that I think that will resonate with people. Be honest, let me know in the comments down below, because there is a lot on here, right? We've got every single day, look, up to our match days here. We've got our weekly schedules here. We've got all of these individual sessions. We've got 3 sessions per day, and actually you can then go and choose between so many different things. If I should click on one here, this is what you're brought up with. It is a minefield of information, and I can quite honestly understand why people look at this and think that is too much, especially newer players, but maybe even veterans too that have always left this to their assistant managers. I can completely understand why this is maybe a little bit too much. But today I'm going to hopefully persuade you that it's not, and you can do this, and it is okay, and it's worth doing as well. Okay, so you've set your assistant manager to take over your training, and this is what's happened. They have flood-filled the rest of the season. It feels like for the rest of eternity. They've put in the training schedules for every single week, look, and we've got this multitude of colours, and you can see that they're planning before every single match. They're getting you training all the way through with a minimal amount of rest in there, you could probably say. If we go back to the first month here, which is this one here, look, we're going to focus just on this first month here. You can see that the assistant has put in lots of different things in there, lots of overalls, attacking movements, shadow plays. There's lots of different sessions in there. Now, the first problem with letting your assistant manager do your training is that they do go and flood fill all the way up until the end of the season, and they don't then go and change it if things change. This has many problems. A big one, which I'm sure maybe some of you have spotted already, is that they are obsessed and absolutely love putting endurance, quickness, and even resistance training into your training schedules per week right before you go and play a game. Hands up if you've ever had your team absolutely knackered when you're about to go into a game. They're really fatigued, and that's a real issue, and you think, oh, I wish I rested them. It might be this that is causing that problem. If you click on endurance, it tells you exactly what happens. Fatigue is greatly increased. Now, you don't need that when you've already got a packed schedule. Now, this, in this sense, is probably okay because we've got a week between every match. If you have a look, every match here is on our Saturday, and this is probably just about okay, and we may need to gain some fitness. It's pre-season at the moment. We might need to do some running. However, if I go through, this happens throughout the season. And as you all know, the schedule can become really, really packed. If you've ever managed in England, you know how in December you have a game every 2 or 3 days at some points, don't you? Your assistant manager, if they've put in endurance training and quickness training and resistance training, they're still going to be there at that point when you're playing every 3 days, and your players, they're just not going to be able to cope. That in itself is a reason why you should go and do your own training, because it can really derail a season if you don't go and find out that this is happening to your team. For me, another reason why you shouldn't let your assistant manager do your training is that it is not tailored towards the matches that you are playing. It's very generic for the entire season. Your assistant does not know that if you're playing Bayern Munich, you're more likely to have to defend a lot more. Whereas if you're playing Wolfsburg at home, you might want to go and attack a little bit more. These training sessions that they have put in are not tailored towards the match that is coming up. Now, if you were to have a look at your different options, you've got match preparation options here, which all impact how you play in the upcoming games. A lot of these, like attacking, defending, technical, these sessions here are designed for developing players. Attributes are being affected by these. Match preparation directly affects the next match. So you want to be tailoring this towards the next game that you've got coming up here. For example, Bayern Munich. If I've got Bayern Munich coming up, I want to go make sure I've got my defensive shape in there, because that is going to prepare me defensively. Whereas maybe I don't need to think too much about defending when I'm playing Wolfsburg. Let's get rid of this defending from the front. Let's go and put some match preparation, attacking movement in there, and actually let's tailor things towards that a little bit more. Your assistant manager can't do this on his own without your input. And the other main reason that I have for not letting your assistant manager do your training schedule is that you miss out on so many valuable sessions that you can be putting in. 2 of them in particular. For example, I'll give you the first one. Team bonding this year is so important. It can be so effective. It improves your dynamics. I made a video all about team dynamics and cohesion and why it's super important for your team. In fact, I titled that video, "This is why you're losing games on Football Manager." I really do think it is as important as that. If you can be doing a little bit of team bonding every week, which, as you see here, increases the happiness, increases the team cohesion, I think you should be doing that every single week. It can literally be the difference between winning and losing games. So team bonding, get that in there. But also, after a match, if you are not doing this one here, if you go to match preparation and doing a match review, you're really missing out. Again, if I show you the impact that this can have on you, this can have a massive impact on your tactical familiarity and all of these things here, including your team cohesion. It's like having another match preview, but it's a match review. I really think they are valuable. Also, you've got rests in here where you could be having recoveries. There's a lot of arguments to say that recoveries are just rests, but better. If you compare the two, look, have a look at the impacts of a recovery compared to the impacts of a rest. You could argue that the recovery is better, and you want to be putting a few more of these into your schedule. By the way, I did go and make this training schedule here, which is for a week where you've got one match on the Saturday, as you can see here. If you do want to go and download this, I will put the link to this in the description as well. In my head, I was thinking you could maybe use it as a bit of a base. If you've got a game where you're going to be really defensive, tweak these attacking movements to tailor it towards that match, towards that opposition that you have on the Saturday. But you can see also, I've gone and put things like the team bonding in. I've put the match review in, so that if you go to your schedule section here and load this in, hopefully a lot of the hard work has been done for you. The link to that is in the description. And if you like this, make sure you like the video too. Hopefully that makes you feel a little bit more confident about going in and doing your own training schedules, and hopefully it inspires you to go and start doing it a little bit more. I know that that's something that I've always found a little bit daunting in the game, and actually when you start to do it, you become really used to this. It becomes almost second nature, like so many other parts of the game where you just click and you just get yourself into quite literally a routine for doing it. I do think it is worth doing. There are lots of different ways that people do this. Some people do it monthly. They clear it at the start of the month and put their own ones in. Some people like to have the assistant manager's ones in there and then tweak it themselves. If you're moving across from letting your assistant do it, maybe that's a good way of doing it. Other people like to do the entire season because they're weirdly organized. However you choose to do it, I do really feel like you get a lot of value out of actually clicking in and doing your own training schedules. Another video that I'm thinking about doing, by the way, let me know if you want to see this one, is to do a few simulations where we do our own training and then compare it to how the assistant manager does. We'll compare how our players grow in terms of their development, their attributes, but also how the results on the pitch are impacted. If that sounds like something you want to watch, let me know in the comments down below. But this is where we'll leave it for today. Good luck with your new training schedules. Have a lovely rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.